And this is where I've got to give Brian Daboll and the Giants credit. I thought the Giants had no chance. I thought they just don't have the talent. And when they're down 13, they have a chance to go for the win. And this is where I said this last night during our digital tapings with Maria Taylor, Coach Garrett, and Coach Dungy. I don't need the analytics mafia on my back so early in the season. This is not an anti-analytics. This is a pro understand the circumstances take.
Yeah.
You're the Giants. You're supposed to lose. The Titans let you hang around. You're in their building. You don't want to mess around with overtime and give them a mulligan. Go take it. Go get it. And credit to Brian Daboll for doing it.
Absolutely. I love it because, look, you're playing with free money, right? If you're the Giants and you get in a situation like this, I mean, look at the way Saquon's moving, man. I give Saquon Barkley a lot of credit, too, for the game he had. He was terrific in this ball game. And you know what? Titans, you still have a chance. Can't pull it off, man. And, like, that's the kind of thing where you put pressure on the other team. Like, that works out well. I love the aggression from Brian Daboll, and I love the attitude that we saw there. And look, that's one of those things where you're trying to establish a culture in your first season. You get off to a good start like that. It's a great thing. I really give Brian Daboll a lot of credit.
Here's why. When you do that, when you win those games, you get the guys who have been hearing all the things the coach says and all the ideas the coach has. They buy in. The sooner you win games, the sooner they buy in.
Yes.
A new coach in
100%.
New Orleans, but not a first-time coach in Dennis Allen, taking over for Sean Payton. This one was not going well for the Saints. They were down 26-10. And Myles, before yesterday, in the storied at times, but at other times not so storied history of the Saints, they had never come back and won a game when they trailed by 16 in the fourth quarter. The closest they came was 15 in 2017. They came back and won. This time down 16, and they pulled it off. And I asked Jameis Winston after the game what happened. And, you know, this is another one of those, football is at times made to seem more complicated to the average fan than it really is. Jameis said, we spent all this time game planning and all this time trying to think about how they're going to defend our players and how we're ever going to get anything done. At a certain point, you just throw it out and let your playmakers go make plays. It was an unintended product placement by Jameis, and I appreciate it very much. But you just throw it to Michael Thomas, right? When in doubt, throw it to Michael Thomas. And then they start shading coverage to Michael Thomas. So you throw it to Jarvis Landry 40 yards to get yourself, and he broke down the play. They clouded, as he used the term, over toward Michael Thomas, covering him. Jarvis Landry's open, 40-yard throw, sets up the game-winning field goal. And that's what you do. If you've got the players, there's a point where you just have to say, screw the game plan. Let's just go out there and let our guys do their thing, and that's what they did.
Yeah, you know, it's bleep it. Let's go. Let's just do it. Let's just go, you know? And this is one of those things where Jameis Winston was working out with those guys throughout the course of the offseason. He's been in the mindset of, I am the leader of this team, and I am going to make sure that we do everything we possibly can to set ourselves up in position to win. And I think those kinds of things, when you do them in the offseason, especially if you're early in the season like week one, that's where they kind of show up. So, like, look, Jameis Winston was really good in those later stages of that game, and hell, that could set them up pretty well going forward.
And what a difference! You go from thinking that this Saints experiment post Peyton is not going to work. Jameis had 56 passing yards.
You go from
the first three quarters combined. Well, look, we all want to see our crazy-ass theories come to fruition. But he went off in the fourth quarter. Perfect passer rating, 13 for 16, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, both to Michael Thomas, who is back. I'm very happy for Michael Thomas. After everything he's been through the last 2 years, he's back. This team needs to be taken seriously. Oh, and they get the Buccaneers week 2. The team that they are 4-0 against with Tom Brady as the quarterback in the regular season. Not that we won't mention the postseason, just the regular season. How about the Commanders and the Jaguars?
Yeah.
Carson Wentz, and there was a point yesterday, I tweeted this. Matt Ryan looks like Carson Wentz, and Carson Wentz looks like Matt Ryan. Then Carson Wentz started to look like Carson Wentz again, but then he didn't, and he pulled off the victory. 4 touchdown passes. The Commanders come from behind to beat the Jaguars. It was Carson Wentz's first 4-touchdown game since the day he tore the ACL in his knee in L.A., in the Coliseum against the Rams. Myles, you were probably at that game in 2017 as an employee of the Rams. And now Wentz back, gets the win. Crazy day. And credit to Ron Rivera and company for hanging in there, because once you blow that lead, it's easy to just kind of give up and say, same old Commanders, same old stuff. New name, same old crap. But they hung in there and pulled it off.
Well, they did. And look, I think that's an important game for Carson Wentz based on the way things ended for him, with the Colts, where Jim Irsay is just like, basically, get him the hell out of here. Under no circumstances is this guy coming back as our quarterback, and he lost to the Jaguars, right? And then you also have on the other sideline, Doug Peterson, right? Who was his coach with Philadelphia for all those years. And I think all of that coming together and Carson Wentz being able to make the plays late, doing the clutch things that we really have not seen him do for a long time. That is something that I think you can definitely be encouraged by if you are a Washington Commanders fan.
Absolutely, and the season off to a great start. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.